The town of Narth lies in shambled ruin, an ancient creature of incredible majesty, lumbering away from what was once a home for hundreds, maybe thousands. The endless wood has been changed this day. Something, something very different begins here. And through all of it, all of us are still drowning. Good morning, afternoon, and or evening, ladies, gents, and all in between and beyond that bind of the internet. And I welcome you back to Neon Lights Roleplay. More specifically, after so very long, I welcome you back to Steel and Arbor, our little homebrew Humblewood adventure. Homebrew wood, thanks, heck.
Yeah.
I'm your host for the duration of stream. I go by Foxy and use the he, they pronouns. And I have with me an incredible little collection of critters here with me. 5 newfound friends, 5 destined heroes bound by purpose and now, unfortunately, by tragedy. I could tell you each of their incredible abilities and their lovely, adorable faces, but instead, I think I'll let them do that themselves. So, friends, in the order that I call you out, please do us all the honor of telling us who you are, where you can be found on the internet, and who you have the pleasure of playing tonight. We start off with an incredibly close friend of mine, someone who I've looked to on many a long day and night, not only for advice and guidance, but for who to be some days. I'm, of course, talking about Neon Lights' one and only Michelle. Fucking with that actually a lot. Moving right on along as I write that one down. Up next to another close and personal friend, someone who I've known for more than a decade now and who has taught me that it's sometimes not the timing of a bit, but how committed you are to it. It's, of course, Lambda Dan.
Hi. I'm not sure that how I should feel about that being the main takeaway of 12 years of friendship. But I am Lambda Dan, and I'm playing Alyaweya, the Gerbine Paladin of great personal valor.
12 long years of waiting for the right moment.
Missing the right moment, but still being funny anyways.
I'm sorry, that was so unnecessary. I love you, though.
So mean.
I'm glad to have you back with us, Adlo, and looking forward to sharing more of your journey with the rest of the story here. Passing on along to yet another close personal friend of mine who I've maintained a friendship with for many long years now, someone who I've turned to in dark days, who I've cried to on unfortunate nights, and who I've shared more victories with than I can count. Except in League of Legends. I can count those pretty distinctly on a couple of hands. It's Lucian.
Hey, that's me. I'm Lucian. You can find me on this channel and in the Discord, and that's basically it. I'm playing our not very huggable hedge, Thag Shrubs. He's here. You'll find him rolling around or sleeping. You know, the usual.
I was just about to say no one made a Sonic joke. I was just about to say it, and you had to fuck it, Tate, and you had to go and
He's
fuck it.
rolling around and he's a hedgehog.
I did say those things.
Cruising right on along, then, to someone who I have
At the
met
speed of
through
sound.
this lovely endeavor. No, fuck you. Stop. Absolutely not. You're proving the point I made earlier right now, actually, in case you were curious.
Where are my enchanted shoes?
Moving right on along, and we'll address that later, I promise. To someone who I happened to meet through this lovely little endeavor we call tabletop RPing, who I am not only impressed with the creativity of, but also with the amount of heart they contain. Someone who I think shows every day how being the right person in the right place can change enough people's lives if you try hard enough. I'm, of course, talking about Tate.
Okay. I thought it was a toss-up, honestly. I'd say that describes Heck pretty well as well.
Oh.
Hello, Twitch, and hello, Internet. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at Tate the Terrific any place I care to be found. If you find me somewhere else, no, you did not. Today,
It's like she's feeling all the feelings now, and then it's just gonna be like I don't know what's gonna happen after that, but yeah, all the feelings are happening now. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's me.
Well, I think personally, Katya, you're the most weasel. So there you go.
Aw.
I had to make I had it in my brain, and I had to. Any case, like I said already, I'm Foxy. I use he/they pronouns. I play everyone that's not these 5 people, which is hard to do because they're really good at their jobs. How good at their jobs? Why don't I just go ahead and show you? Last episode, we ended just outside of the town of Narth, which is unfortunately no longer the proud bastion of civilization that it was. Instead, it has now been shattered, ruined. It is aghast with destruction, and people all around it are struggling with what to do next. Huddled masses gather, people scream out for loved ones, run left and right, embraces, crying, rage. The emotional spectrum writ large in all its best and worst is all present here. Speaker Chermatol is still present a bit amongst the tall rock, counting heads and taking census as best as he can. A few secretaries adamantly helping and gathering people into small collections. The wounded are being shuffled off to one location to be tended to as best they can with what resources are available. Teams are still running about the ruins and rubble, scattering and looking for whoever they can. And in the midst of all of this, of the five of you, where are you? What are you doing? What are you thinking? What do you say? I leave that question and the scene with you.
So Adlo will pretty much immediately go to join in the rescue efforts. Basically trying to find any wounded who need medical attention. And so I may even like split off from the group just to focus on that for the time being as like my main priority.
All right, that makes perfect sense. Adlo, could you give me, I'm going to say, I'll allow perception, certainly, as a simple, just like looking around for anybody that's in need of help. If you want to be a bit more like, I want to see where like the people who would be hurt the most or who will be in the most need of like help are, I might make that either a medicine or investigation roll. But I'm also fine with just like an athletics or acrobatics for just like how much you can help out with whatever groups are already moving around helping people. Your choice. What do we got? Call it out.
I got a 22. Oh man.
On
Athletics.
Oh, perfect. So why don't you actually, you know what? Let's take a pause on that for a minute because I want to do something with that for you, Adlo. But before I run over to you, why don't the rest of you tell me what other things you might be getting up to right now?
Corey's doing, but I'm trying to practice patience and not go first.
I think Thag will also help with like recovery of, people and things from the town, whatever's salvageable.
All right. Same criteria. Acrobatics or athletics if you're trying to just help out with existing groups. Perception if you're looking for people to help on your own. Medicine or something similar if you're trying to like prioritize the worst wounded. Let me know what you're rolling and then roll it.
I'll give you an acrobatics.
Sounds good to me.
How's a 23?
Woo! 23 is good. In fact, Fag, you didn't travel to Narth with Adlo. They were they're among the people you kind of met with your groups here. So you've while you've been around with this group for about the same time, you've definitely been with Adlo less than you've been around someone like say Coriander. And so I imagine it almost might find you a bit surprising how well you two fall in working together. And I want to come back to that scene and like play that out. So have that in mind for when I come back to you two. Of just like I want a nice scene of you two working together to help rescue someone. And I'll give you a nice pitch for that in just a moment. But before we come back to that, what about the rest of you? What's happening? Go ahead.
Corey is doing two. Yeah, you don't have to give me. This is an internal
I
thing.
I know. I love you. I'm just fucking with you.
There are two things he's doing, although there's only visibly one. Corey has, I think, joined whatever like medical tent exists, and I'm assuming they're like mixing medicines from ingredients. Like any small town is going to have a bunch of herbal ingredients and things for medicine, and now they need all of it.
That's certainly part of it. Yes, there was an herbalist shop in town that like people are actively bringing over like bushels and like bags from, trying to like recover whatever they could that would have been useful for medicine. And a lot of that is actively getting like ground up and turned into like various salves and put upon the bandages right now.
So I think at first Corey is like carrying as much of that in line, but as soon as he meets someone or sees someone that does that, like that does actually mixing, he offers his services of and it's again the very quiet hood down, like in almost official mode. I've been trained in how to make basic healing salves and other tinctures. I can help with whatever we need. If you want me.
An older-looking raptor woman kind of flutters a wing towards you briefly. And, I could use hands, please.
Yeah. The second thing Corey's doing, which is maybe relevant for this scene, is amongst his order, they have sort of a secret language based on how you pin your cloak. It's like a very specific image to their order, whether it's this sort of leafy one that he has that's magic for weapons or it's more ceremonial. Because it's shaped like a poncho, it's based on like where you take up and pin the front tails. The more open it is generally means the more you're like, I am here as an official member of the Order of the Moon and you can talk to me. But there are like subtle differences to saying I need to talk to someone of the Order, or I am in danger, or be wary. And so I think for this one, it is one side is open and pinned up and is like pinned closer to his neck as opposed to his shoulder, his tail. And he is specifically trying to signal to whoever picked up the message earlier that he left the day before under the tree that like he would like to contact that person and exchange some amount of information, which we don't have to get into now, but that's sort of what he is doing while he's doing this. It's why he's in a more public space and not going to help find people.
Absolutely. Well, for the sake of excuse me, for the sake of having you roll something, you want to give me like a medicine or a crafting, or just roll, you know, your proficiency in your herbalism kit?
I think herbalism kit or survival if we wanted to use that, but
either one.
Just do herbalism kit. But hey, 22 is the number today, apparently.
Okay, guys. All right. Okay, let's take it easy. Jesus. I'm glad it's not the combat episode. So,
but he is using whatever is here for that.
So yeah, you're definitely making yourself available and being as helpful as you can. In fact, there's a lot of people who are doing what they can to help out. A glance around tells you that plenty of them are maybe not the most well trained in like herbalism and in medicine. And so while they're following instructions and doing what they can, some of it is messy or uncertain. And so you are definitely finding places where you can either just like walk over and help someone or just slide in and start doing some things, and people will know like, okay, I should be doing that, not this.
I think Corey has taken a spot like in the line of people who are preparing medicine, but as is his sort of habit in a kitchen or a campground, he is like as subtly as possible, not drawing attention, just will like nudge someone a little bit or be like, no, it's this way. Like he's just trying to cover for people's missteps constantly, as he tends to do.
All right. Before we return to seeing what more of that looks like for you and your contact you're reaching out to, Katya, Coral, what are you two up to?
I think so. Coral got knocked out, I think at least twice in the last.
That did happen.
Last several minutes, really. What, less than 10 minutes?
Listen, as long as combat is as long as it needs to be.
Yeah, that's like a few seconds.
Yeah.
You're gonna get checked for head trauma, right?
No. Absolutely
You get knocked out twice within 10 minutes. That's a good.
That might be a good idea, yeah.
Okay, but when does Coral do something that's a good idea?
I concede the point.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Look, she's
Point
blown up so
conceded.
many times that the ringing in her head is just normal at this point. So first thing she's gonna do is pick up a rock and hit it and infuse it with light, using up one of her magical infusions, and just passing it off to the nearest person to, you know, help with the search. She's feeling a little woozy, but she's gonna actually turn over to you, Katya, and just how's your family? You wanna see if we can check in on them?
Yeah, I've only seen Mom so far. I need to find everybody else.
You want some help with that, or?
If you want to come along, you can.
And you know what? I think I'm actually gonna stick with you two for a little bit, if that's okay. I'm
Okay.
liking where this is going. This feels like it might be appropriate scene setting drama. So I imagine you two are just gonna immediately start kind of like searching around the outskirts of the town, looking for any sign of Katya's family as you can, which certainly isn't easy to do. There's a massive crowd. Literally everyone that was in Narth for the festival right now is either leaving it now or is here in this scene. And between the traffic of outgoing people and the clutter of people looking for their families or their possessions or anything, it is a messy, chaotic, hard to parse scene. That said, I'm gonna ask you both for perception or investigation to help keep an eye on some things if you'd
boy.
like.
Katya is neither wise nor smart, but I will try.
Oh my god, guys!
Oh, how is
Well,
it 24?
Roll this trash.
Somebody.
I rolled a 10.
So it had to happen to somebody.
Yeah.
First rolls of the night. 23, 22, 22, 25, 10.
That's if
We
you
average
want to
out
say
to a
that
normal
Coral
run-
has
normal run.
disadvantage from having been knocked down twice, that's an 8.
You know, fair enough. So, yeah, actually, that's actually a super good point. So between the two of you, between Coral, you dealing with the mild concussion, and Katya, you know, just being, I imagine, a bit more fraught. It's hard to see things at first. You're just looking around and seeing groups of people gathering. You can see what looks like, Katya, you recognize him as one of the blacksmiths in town, someone who made a lot of farm tools, who is just like looking at the barrel of he was able to carry out of his home with like some basic food supplies and nothing else. That is just lamenting that he has nothing now. Everything, his life is, you know that his great grandfather built that blacksmith stable generations ago, and it's gone now. You travel further in and you see another pair of young people huddled together. They appear to be young parents, or maybe just young siblings, perhaps. Definitely don't seem old enough to be full-grown adults, but they huddle over each other and sob, cry. You aren't really entirely sure why until you realize they're looking at a torn picture of someone. You assume someone that didn't make it out. And it starts to weigh on you what's happened here. How many people have lost their lives or their loved ones here. And I imagine, Katya, that builds fear in you, concern, as you haven't really seen anyone, and you are frantically trying to see any sign of someone, and you start kind of picking up your pace somewhat, looking around. Coral, you're trying to keep up with her. A hand clasps itself down on your shoulder as if like stopping you directly in your place. It's your father. And he just pulls you into him. Oh, thank the gods. And he turns and gives a bit of a wave, and in the distance you can see your Aunt Sabirica, who is tending to a bandage-laden Furo, who appears to have a bit of a wound directly under his ear on his head. Your two little siblings are sat next to him, just sitting on the grass. They don't appear to have really any of that earlier energy or excitement they had. But as you're kind of taking a quick head count, Ma's over there, and there's Auntie and your siblings, and yeah, looks like everyone's accounted for. Looks like everyone's, for the most part at least, safe and unharmed.
Yeah, I'm just hugging everybody. Like that's
Aw.
that's the mood right now. It is just it's hugging and crying.
Coral, you see Katya sprint to the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
Twitch,
somehow,
Twitch
yeah.
says we're still online, so that's all that matters, gang. We're here. We're locked in.
Although if you want to
That
interrupt the
said-
speech chat and tell me that, you're gonna have to do it on the Discord because I cannot see Twitch.
That said, as Coral, you do kind of like try to gather up as many as you can. It's actually Lena who pokes her little head out from your left and just like, kind of like pats the side of your head a little bit and just like, are you okay?
I'm awake. That counts, right?
Sabirica frowns and just, sit, please. I'll get to you next.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yeah, it does seem like they've gotten to everyone. It takes a bit of a moment for your father to kind of like recompose himself and get a bit level-headed again and just like, what's where are the rest of your friends? Are they okay?
Yeah, they're fine. They're all jumping into action as my awesome adventurer friends do.
I think I have a concussion.
Sabirica says, just like another awesome adventurer I know. To which Furo grumbles. Tai kind of sighs and just, you've seen your mother, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Good. She was worried sick. I wish I had the words to explain anything to you right now, Little Light, but this is... I have not the words. This is... So many people have lost so much.
And so what happened? What was that thing? What were all the little things?
Oh, I can answer that. I'm pretty sure that was Alyaweya. Fairly certain.
There are
90%
lots of
certain.
people around who are, like, looking over or, like, whispering in hushed tones. Taik, for his part, does lowly nod and just... Your friend is learned. And correct. A sentinel just rampaged through our home.
I don't think she was rampaging. Did it feel like rampaging to you, Katya?
Does it matter? Many are dead all the same. Sabirica puts a hand on his shoulder for a minute and he lets out a very long sigh. Forgive me. This is not a grievance I should take out against you.
I don't understand then. Aren't they the Sentinels supposed to be protectors of some kind?
Some say they guard the Endless Wood. Others say their remit is simply the ley shrines. Neither makes sense here. Alyaweya guards the north, and that shrine isn't anywhere near this direction. Nor have we defiled it in any capacity.
I feel like Katya just
Now-
continues this look of just absolute bewilderment.
I know that Corey would have a question about that statement of not defiled in any way, but I'm not like in this scene. But I feel like perhaps I could still roll for this and just not inform the scene about. Do we know what would count as defiling of that shrine? Because there's been bandits living in it for a bit, but that doesn't feel like.
Oh, I should clarify. The thing you were at was not the ley shrine.
Oh, okay. Someone doesn't explain.
The
that
ley
to
shrines,
me.
in fact, are you can see there are those oh, also I said Alyaweya was the guardian of the north. She actually guards the east ley shrine. If you look on the map, there are those 4 locations on the map where the ley shrines are marked. It is believed that each sentinel is meant to attend to a ley shrine, and Alyaweya's is the east, which is again very far over there.
And it's not the direction that she came from either. She came from the north.
Nope. In fact, yeah. In fact, yeah. It doesn't seem like that happened at all. We'll come back to that later when we talk about you, Corey. Don't worry about it. But yeah, that's yeah. I will give you an answer though, because I think this is like something that like you Coral, and Katya would already have. Actually, you'd all have pretty basic knowledge on that. As far as what count as defiling a ley shrine, no one knows because no one goes to them except to like
Mm.
leave like offerings or like to pray or things like that. These things are older than the endless wood. No one knows where they're from or what they even are for. In fact, even the theory that the Sentinels guard them is just that. It's a theory. No one fucking knows. So, like, your father is saying this to you as a father comforting his daughter, not as a man who is certain about
Hmm,
anything that just happened.
I see.
And I think that you, Katya, are more than old enough to recognize and be aware of that, even in the moment. So I won't gate that behind a roll.
Well, we don't know, but after we start putting together this town again, we should probably go find out, right? Does anybody need any help? I can make something.
You can rest while I check that head, Sabirika says.
But I have tools.
I wasn't asking.
Right.
You sit your rudder tail down and you let someone take care of you, damn it.
She slides over to you and just, again, she seemed to have like a small roll of gauze she'd been tending to, replacing some for Fudo, and sort of immediately like gather some more in her teeth and tear off a bit, and just I don't see an obvious wound yet, but I'm gonna move some of that fur out of your face for a brief moment. And she starts to kind of going to attend to you and seeing what she can do to attend to what concussion of yours she can. She has a bit of a medical salve on her as well. You probably want to see some more intense medical attention at some point, Coral, maybe, but like you're functional for now. You'll be all right. The ringing in
Concussion,
your
I
ears
just
is
need
just
to not
background
sleep.
music.
I just need to not sleep.
Exactly. Yep, that's how that works.
Yep, no long-term consequences of that at all.
You've
Uh-huh.
just
Nope.
been too close to too many electronic devices.
So, that said, Katya, obviously your family is here and is going to like attend to you and to each other for as long as possible. Is there anything else you feel like you want to like run over and do or check on doing, or you want to check in on real quick, or should I move to somebody else for a bit moment?
I mean, how how are the friends doing?
You haven't seen them yet, but you can go looking for them if you'd like to.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
I was about to say,
All
do
right.
you mean your
Hometown
like
friends.
critter friends or the friends?
Not the party, the hometown friends.
Indeed.
Oh, I was also thinking your patron
Oh,
Blech.
I mean,
friend.
that might be a good idea too. I didn't think about that.
Fair enough. Well, as you run off to go find Ro and Lily and see where they're up to, let's briefly slide back over and check on our other pairing we've got moving around, huh? Cythagrius and Adlo, you two are back amidst the rubble and are doing your best to assist people with any recovery operations they can do. You're currently mounting and climbing the rubble of what looks to have been like a large sort of almost inn structure of some kind, part inn perhaps, maybe part of it like a food ration storage of some kind. It is mostly rubble now, massive pieces of collapsed wood and thatch all over. There's a team of Gerbine who are trying to, heft and move away like large pieces of rubble, and they are looking at what looks like a sort of a massive log that's been kind of splintered in half and is kind of bending over the arc of another broken down wall. And they're struggling because lifting up either side of the broken piece of like rubble is gonna bring that wall fully down. And if there are people under it, they're gonna be dead, most likely. So they're trying to figure out how they can best move this thing or coordinate moving it to, get these people out of here. Whatever they're trying to figure it out. This is the scene you two find yourselves coming upon. With those two incredible rolls, how do you solve this?
Thang's gonna look around and turn to the Gerbine that are around and kind of like clap his hands together and go, would it not be easier if I just dug underneath?
They all look around and as one go, a hedge! And they look and just like, you'll have to be careful not to shuffle too much of the rubble, so you'll need to coordinate well so we can make sure everything's held in place while you do so, but that would help, yeah.
Shall I assist with stabilizing the rubble then? I don't.
You could also. It's hard to see where I'm going through the dirt. So if you just give me directions from the back of the tunnel, I've been known to veer a little left sometimes here and there.
Like digging in Space Engineers. All right.
I can do that.
So, what's it look like? Or actually, you know what? No. Don't answer that question. I have a better idea.
Dark, lots of dirt.
Thag, you're outside and you tunnel in and you start like drilling under the building, and you easily make a couple feet in no time. You make about 10 feet under in no time. And you're like, okay, that's far enough down. I can start making my way forward now. And you manage to kind of like start drilling forward. In fact, Adlo, there's enough of like a bit of a wake of dirt being built up from the digging that you can almost kind of follow Thag as he's moving under the like base of the building and kind of keep an eye on him from there. You are trying to kind of like keep him on track when you see that he does manage to make it under the building, no problem. And and as soon as he kind of crests under that piece of rubble, the Dravine all brace against the wall. The wall holds, no problem. The part of the log that's been broken on the outside falls away, and you can hear some people begin to like murmur in concern and like worry. And you realize that Thag's gonna pop up, no problem. He'll make it under there easily. But if he's not careful, the motion of him popping up might send that last piece of log tumbling to the wrong side. How do you avert it?
Remember, you got a 22 in athletics.
If only I had a slashing weapon, not a stabbing weapon or a piercing weapon.
Hey, maybe you take a sword from somebody else. It's fucking have narrative with it. Have narrative fun with it, dude. Never let mechanics limit the cool.
All right.
So I could go on a TED talk how most swords should be able to do both, but that's a whole other conversation.
I have a rapier though. I don't know if you can really slice things.
Still the same conversation. Continue.
Rapiers are only sharp on one end though.
Grab a sword from somebody.
Stop it. He's getting mad. Stop.
No, wait. I want to talk about rapiers though.
Please.
A log's about to crush civilians. You want to have that conversation? Watch them die. Go for it.
It's during the stop time. It'll be fun.
You're gonna miss the quick time event. Stop.
All right.
Spider-Man face plants the civilians. I'm gonna die.
I'm going to die.
All right.
God.
Fucking wonderful
shut up.
101 fail, and then just zooms out. The guy spits his coffee at his screen. Anyway, what were we doing? Okay. Yeah, so I'll ask one of the passing Gerbine if they have to borrow their sword.
You need to ask. You can just see one on one of their hips.
Okay. I grab it off their hips, and the end that would be, or the side, or the end of the log that would crush the survivors. I basically start with like just clean slices, just cutting off like slices of it so that it doesn't like all fall at once, and like the slices are thin enough that like them falling don't pose any danger, or like they won't crush anyone, and it shortens the dangerous or the survivor facing side of the log enough
Yeah.
that to remove the danger of it crushing anyone.
It takes you about 3 cuts in total to really get through it in the right and at the right angle to really shorten it in the way that you want to, and you get that third cut in perfectly timed, just as you can see like Thag kind of burrow his claws out of the ground under the building and like up under, like next to the people who are trapped. As you come up, Thag, you do bump a piece of rubble like with your shoulder that you kind of couldn't see behind your own bulk. And so the building does like judder a little bit, but again, as Adlo's already been cutting down at the side of the log, it just rolls to the side and just like slams down right next to you, Adlo. Everyone lets go of a very long sigh.
Oops. Sorry about that. Everybody okay?
Yeah, we're fine, big guy. Thanks for the save.
All right, well,
Corey
and
sighs.
he'll like put his hands on either side and lift himself out of the hole. Here's your route out. Watch your head. If you get covered in dirt, it's no problem. Somebody will brush you off at the end. Come on now, one by one.
People start single file making their way out, offering thanks and kindness and putting hands on you or shaking their hand as you pass by. A smaller Vulpin who is walking by stops and looks and just, we should keep more of you around this place.
I will shrug and go, there's always Shrubs members around. I'm sure you can find someone.
Well noted. And he'll slide into the hole behind. Eventually, you manage to clear out all those survivors from that building. There's about 5 or 6 people in there who were all a bit disheveled and dirtied up, but as you're kind of like watching them as they pass, obviously, if you wanted to get like a perfect sense of it, I need a medicine check, but I think just from initial glances, none of them seem like visibly like critically injured. There's some limping steps and some bruises and bumps, certainly, and they've all probably been inhaling some dust for a while, but they'll
Yeah,
make
if
it.
anything, I'd probably grab like the most important person, or like the most kind of got their wits about them person, and ask, anything here I should grab? Anything you think will be useful for recovery?
And he just looks
Reconstruction.
around and just, Alyaweya came down in the food storage. I don't think there's anything good in there, but if you can find anything.
Food storage, and Thag will kind of look around. What is where?
He points in a direction where you could see a large pile of rubble.
Ah. Well, clap his hands together again. Better get to it.
And he'll give a nod and a thank you, and keep pressing on. Adlo, meanwhile, the Gerbine, the one whose sword you took, is just like, that was damn impressive.
It was nothing, really, I assure you.
I saw the way you were running around here earlier. You saved a lot of people. You got a name?
Adlo Tomoya, as the eternally oathbound Order of Galwin, at your service.
He leans over and looks kind of like at your cape somewhat, and oh shit, you are one of those oathbound. Huh. Lucky thing we had you around. Appreciate the help.
The help? Shoot.
You got it.
It is no trouble. It is it is in the spirit of Galwin that we help all that we are able, or all who we are able to.
Did God say anything about what could have happened here?
I prefer not to think about it, if I'm being honest.
Can't say I blame you for that. Come on, there's more people we can find out here.
Right.
And they'll carry on with the rest of you to keep searching things. Thag, I'll say the food storage was a bust. There's more rubble there than there was anything that could have. Like, you find like a destroyed crate with maybe a couple of rations in it, but that's more just like for if some people here happen to be really hungry and need something, not so much for this is for the town to separate and share. That's gonna be rough. But you do now know, and you can now keep your eyes open for as you're exploring more, like places that look like they might have been granaries or storage houses, or if anybody's like lugging large crates of food, like, okay, people are going to need food and medical supplies right now more than anything else. So you can start keeping your eyes open for looking for more of that as you're helping people out.
All right.
Anything more for the two of you, or should we check on our fifth? I love thumbs. Corey, you are assisting as you can with some with more medical assistance and creating more herbs and helping people out. You are watching people's hands and kind of like giving them small nudges or assisting them and telling them how to make certain salves certain ways. And as you see, someone has a collection of brush leaf they've gathered under some sort of some of the lesser glow cap shrooms, and they're kind of like starting to kind of mash them into a really fine paste. You can see that like you usually don't want to like mash that. You wanted to kind of more like almost grind it somewhat, break it down and grind it somewhat. And you know that it's pretty common, so you go to like nudge them and go like, hey, just in case you're aware, like you don't want to and the person who you nudge looks like a Vulpin, relatively darker toned fur and has a bit of a hood over their head.
It's a grind motion, not down rotation.
They step back as if a bit embarrassed, and in the motion they could step back, you can see that they clearly have what looks like a patterned like hooded cloak, which is folded in a certain way where you can kind of see it pinned a bit more to one side. And in fact, on the side that's pinned up, you can normally tell it's meant to kind of like slide down and kind of like rest against his chest. It's bent upwards and pinned with a small pin that looks almost like a scale. And he just, oh, excuse me, I must have been doing this for a while. I'm gonna step out for some air. Would you mind accompanying me?
Corey would look around just very quickly, and he's corrected form that he can, and hopefully nobody drops anything, as well, of course.
Yeah, I think we're still good. Chat, someone tell us if we're here, please.
Oh, we're back.
Are we dead?
We're back.
We're back.
Cool, we're back. Thanks, gang.
It's
I knew it.
fine.
Perfect.
It's
No, we're good.
fine.
Thanks, BB. You're the greatest. Okay, we're locked in. Okay, so here's what we'll do anyway then. For about an hour anyway. Here's what we'll do. Corey, as you're stepping outside with this person, you step out into the back of the sort of side of the edge of the woods around Narth, and this kind of nervous-looking fox person, as they kind of like close the shade. The moment the flap of the tent is closed, their persona entirely inverts. They go from like looking nervously around to like very formal, standard straight gestures, a quick glance left and right, a roll of the shoulder, and just, you're one of the newer ones, yes? Coriander?
The newest of the Gloomstalkers, at your service. And it's a polite but slight bow.
Thane Duskwind, a pleasure. I assume you are the one who made the report recently?
Yes, I had no idea it would also involve this.
I don't think anyone expected this.
I don't know if you got my last note on the mission that we came to. I left it in the tree, and looks over. Is the tree still standing?
The central tree does not look like it's still standing anymore. It is
So it looks like it's like
fully bent, broken in half.
So I'm sure if you got that report as well.
Vane takes a slight nod and just, the old hollow. I read through it.
I doubt it is, but we should spread both that report and I think Corey reaches in his pocket and, if it's all right, has already basically written a report of what has happened here as well. Just like while he was going and doing other things before getting in the medicine line, including a simple sketch of Alyaweya, just this and the swarm, or one member of the swarm. But just, I think that we should distribute it as far and as wide as possible. There's no telling if Alyaweya will turn north or south.
Thane takes the report without even opening it and like folds it into a pocket, looking and just your advice is appreciated. However, you should focus on your own orders, which have of course been altered now.
I assumed.
You are to head to the town of Ishimir at your earliest convenience. I understand that recent events may have complicated that. Use your discretion in arrival, but when you arrive, you have a simple, very basic mission. He gives a smile that very much tells you that there's a few words in there that are maybe embellishments.
Mm-hmm.
The High Mages of Arcana Objectivos have acquired a keystone. You are going to steal it.
What does Corey know of the High Mages of Ishimir?
Arcana Objectivos is the largest mages guild anywhere in the Endless Wood. They are pretentious, they are pompous, and they have a lot of tension with the folks over in Forge Town right now.
Okay. I guess more of how formidable and or capable are the mages of Arcana Objectivos? Like, how tall of an order is this?
You just got asked to steal from Fort Knox.
Again, in this way of like, Corey will process the emotions attached to this in a minute. When there are things not to do, then his brain will do this thing. But at this moment, he simply notes it down mentally. And his first
Corey, there's a
thought.
there's a bit of a follow-on thought, I think, before you tell me what your first thought is. Actually, no, sorry. Go ahead. Tell me your first thought first. I think this is better. Go ahead.
The first thought that he would start to say and is possibly like interrupt before he can is nothing about Alyaweya. Then, like, I get that they don't know about that, but he's immediately like, should I still maybe track Alyaweya and warn people? Is there a better place to go? I'm aware of the East Ley Shrine. Maybe we should check that out. I don't think he says any of that quite yet.
Okay, well, one, give me your perception roll, actually, real quick. Just so that, I'll also allow insight. Actually, no, I'm gonna enforce insight here, actually.
Perfect. Oh, that's an 8.
Oof. With an 8, you've dealt with your order for long enough now that you know that when someone gives you that inscrutable advice appreciated, anyway, here's this thing, that's very much, we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this. So don't ask about that thing you just asked about, because we're talking about this now.
Yeah.
And you can very much tell that's the tone that he gave you, is like, this, it's above your pay grade at this point. Like, and I think there's maybe a bigger thought in your head that really, really, really distracts you from that. Arcana Objectivos has a keystone. As in the 4 keys to the Ley Shrine that have been hidden since before the Great Deluge, that no one knows where the fuck they are, that people believe might allow you to control the Sentinels. Like it's almost like a double take where you're like, it's like if someone says something huge in the news, you're like, okay, that's cool. Wait, what? It's been at that moment. Like you just kind of like you mentally double take.
And this is why the hood is so great, because I think Corey probably like blinked a little bit, but the hood is so deep you can't see his eyes most of the time. So unless this person's much shorter than Corey, I feel like he's just like played it cool.
Yeah, I think that he's roughly a little bit shorter than you, but not like very much so. So
Yeah.
I think you got away with it.
It's very much just understood. Hopefully our reports will help the others. And I feel like that's how they refer to any other agents. If the others handle this crisis, will I go handle another?
He takes a slow moment to nod. You will be provided assistance for your current upcoming task when you reach Ishimir. Agents will be contacting you before then to check in on your progress and offer any further intel we can on the situation. Remain vigilant.
Corey will pause for a moment, just as this changes the orders I had and the amount of travel. I wonder if I can commission an herbalism kit of some kind. It's clearly something I'm trained in, but I don't know that I have the funds for buying supplies I might need to forage for them.
Asked to steal a rare secret relic from an order of mages, and he requests an herbalism kit. I like you, kid. Done.
I imagine I'm going to need to be healed at some point.
Yes, you will.
I'm a rogue, baby. Hey, touching this. Yeah. Corey's not that confident.
Never punished, anyway.
Never punished. Coriander never punished Declamant.
So, as Mr. Never Punished considers these
Man,
things.
that haircut's a punishment.
Oof.
Who it is? This is brand fucking new.
Oh, that's fucked up, dog. That's crazy. Any case, Vane takes a moment to slowly nod again. Remember, Agent de Clement, what we do is for the good of the Endless Wood and all the people in it, even if they aren't allowed to see that. Follow your orders, remain vigilant, and never ask too many questions. You'll get far around here.
If it pleases, I think that Corey in his head plays a moment in his training, probably, of the opposite advice of always ask questions. Like that's how you have to be
absolutely.
in the field. And just does give this person, not like gives them a look, but definitely in their head, there's just a little like, Coriander will remember that about this person. His name, Tate Washburn, is forgotten, but Corey would know.
Vane Duskwind. I'll write it down in the roll 20 for you. Nonetheless, takes a slight moment to briefly nod and just, you have incoming. Show yourself.
Dramatically, Corey he, like unpins the cloak because he's no longer looking for information, turns around and just is ready to deal with whoever is incoming.
There's nobody there.
The man absolutely bamboozled me. I turn around.
You look back. Not only, yeah, he Batmaned you fully. You 100% got Batman, but I ain't gonna lie to you, dog.
It's just,
He Batmaned you by going, "Hey, look over there."
Actually,
You got like the worst
He did
possible
incoming,
version
and
of
he's
getting
on my
Batman. Like, my nigga Bugs Bunnied you. That's crazy. Like,
a rabbit being Bugs Bunny. Shameful.
Mm.
Corey, again, mentally will remember that plus. Like, goddamn. I know I'm new, but I felt like I was past the hazing point.
And on that note of dramatic irony, we'll notice one last thing. As Coral, you're sat still with Katya's family. Katya, you're running off to go check on your friend. You actually end up running not too far past the medical tent where you can see Corey kind of making his way out of. Thag and Adlo, you're also making your way back from another run of helping out some villagers. Thag, you're carrying a large crate of grain you managed to rescue from a granary. And so you're all kind of gathering around the same place. And it's as you're stepping out, a couple things happen. One, Katya, you are once again ambushed, I'm sorry to say, as two pairs of arms just grab you from either side and collapse into you as you find your two friends are, again, mostly safe and healthy. Lily has a bandage around her arm a little bit. It looks like it's kind of covering a light bruising wound of some kind.
Aw.
And Rose seems a little scuffed up, but they are both just throwing themselves around you, happy to see that you're safe. We saw you run back. We were so worried.
I was really worried too. I'm glad you guys made it.
Oh, and they all just cried at each other for a little while.
Yeah, exactly.
Adlo, as you're coming kind of out of this area here, you notice that as you were walking past the central townhouse, which is still mostly intact, save for somewhere Alyaweya probably brushed her way past it a little bit, so it's like blown open, one of the walls fully ripped out, you can see it. As you walk past the graveyard, which unfortunately did also suffer one of her footfalls, you can see that the grave of that one Oathbound who you went to earlier is untouched, perfectly unmarred, as if a divine hand simply offered it a bit of providence. And lastly, as you are planting down that large crate of grain, and people are already running over to grab and start distributing supplies and hand out to people, and someone comes over and says, "Thank you so much, Thag."
Huh? What are you thanking me for?
The grain, it's helpful. Thank you.
Listen, everybody's got to contribute. Don't thank me. And he'll take the crate off his shoulder and just kind of look around.
Well, if you're willing to help us out some more, there is some. I think that wants you, he says, kind of pointing towards the ground.
Thag will kind of look.
There is a small mole-like creature poking its head halfway out of a portal, tugging at your leg somewhat, and it has a note in its other hand.
Ah, I've been waiting for this. And he'll just kind of drop the crate where he's standing, and grab the note.
Not on the mole, I hope.
No.
The rift mole salutes and then pops out as if it's waiting to see if you're going to make a reply or anything like that.
All right, give me one moment, little buddy, and he'll unfurl the note.
And as you unfurl that note, we're going to take a small little break. We'll be right back in a few moments, friend. Touch not that dial nor that browser. We'll have more adorable critters suffering trauma in just a few minutes.
Yay!
See you soon.
And we settle back in to the strange scene of Narth's aftermath, just as one of our party members seems to be receiving a bit of a missive. Welcome back to Steel and Arbor, friends, and we're going to hop right back into the action with our dear friend Sir Thagrius, who has just unfurled a scroll being delivered via Rift Mole, of course, to his hands. It's a very simply written missive. Before I tell you what it is, what do you expect it to be, Thag?
Some kind of acknowledgement of, my message about what's happened. Something about sending advance notice to Forwin about, the incoming danger. Maybe even some kind of information as to what could have caused this, or he's not really looking for what to do because he doesn't really want to listen to whatever they have to say. But having an idea of what the family wants him to do would be nice.
So, as you unfurl this letter, you realize that it's the first word, of course, the greeting, the heading is just the word son. And from the handwriting, the sort of bold, thick lines, you can tell it's your dad. Distressing to hear what's happened in Narth, but we are glad that you're safe. We are certain you did your part in helping anyone that you could, such as your nature. I trust this will add much to your legend in time, but no talk of that for now. Much is changed. You can tell there is weight put in that last sentence. Much is changing around the wood. News is spreading faster than one could expect. There is concern, even all the way here in Grum. Several of our family are moving towards Fenport. We believe they'll be traveling into other towns around the wood, offering service and help wherever they can. It's what we do, after all. If you're in any major cities sometime soon, I recommend checking in, seeing what there is to be done. On the manner of this, And you can tell that there's like several things scratched out, like on the manner of this. Something is scratched out, something else is scratched out. Whatever happened in Narth, I worry for your safety. If you have the time, visit home. And then there's a little small thing written on the back that just says, it's not written on the back, but at the very bottom of the kind of like at the edge of this like scrolling paper, you can see a little line scribble that just says, your loquacious mother, and then a little arrow pointing as if like telling you to flip it over.
Okay. Actually, sorry. I also wanted to mention anything about him giving out the coin.
Oh, we'll get there.
Okay. Yeah,
Apparently
he'll.
you're the gracious mother.
I mean, he'll flip the letter over or the scroll over.
And so it just says, Mythagrius, and it's a comma again. You can tell this is clearly your mother's handwriting. It's about time we've actually gotten to hear from you in something more meaningful than just your standard check-ins. I wish they were under less dire circumstances, but it's good to know you're safe all the same. Your father worries, though he won't admit it easily. And you can see again, there's a bit of a pause as she's written over things. Reached out for news for anyone bearing a family coin who might be fleeing. The attack is still a bit too soon, but I thought I might hear something. I haven't yet. If I do, trust and be assured that I will reach out to you again. You did a good thing. I'm proud of you. Your legend will speak well of this in time. Once you earn it, of course. Now, there is another matter I wished you to attend to, if you had the time. I would assume you'll be traveling away from Narth soon. Please don't stay around there long. But should you find yourself in Dyesvale, well, I've always said you should try finding a way to spread your wings more. If you're going to make a name for yourself, it's best to, well, find out where name-making events are. It would seem you've already done so, incidentally. But I think there's a matter you should pursue. And I think even though she's being vague, Thag, give me a quick insight check. The DC of this is not high.
An insight, you say?
Insight.
How's a 15?
A 15's good enough. Even though she's being vague, this is something your mom has talked to you about more than once since you've taken off on your quest. She's nudging you to join the Scouts League again.
Gotcha.
She said it several times. They are adventurers and people who go out and seek, the unsought and are meant to, find the deep places out in the wood. And if you're going to make a name for yourself as an adventurer, well, that's a good way to do it.
I like to think that, like, Thag probably has like a small map of the Endless Wood where he keeps track of kind of where he's been, and he's gonna pull it out. And you see there's lines kind of going all over, and purposely they all make like a big detour around Dyesvale.
Yep.
I'm also a little curious, if you've sent letters back to your parents, if you mentioned going with Corey, they'd know who Corey is. And I feel like that's a thing that a mother this passive-aggressive would probably start comparing that to.
Well, he's definitely mentioned it
young man
before.
joined Order of the Moon. He's like a...
Yeah, Coriander's got himself a nice group of friends over in the Order of the Moon. Why can't you make friends the way that he does?
Exactly. Which is the most hilariously ironic thing for that mom to say, but feels exactly correct.
And Thag's gonna take out what looks kind of like a hardback folder, essentially, where he's got like essentially a stack of these previous letters that he's gotten. He'll take this one, put it in the back, close it. Well, and he'll turn to whoever he was standing in front of. What were you? Oh, I should write a response. Take out a scroll, take out one of his quills or spines and like dip it into ink or whatever.
The Mapash talking to you just goes, inventive and leaves you to your writing.
The response goes something along the lines of, "We'll visit Dicevale eventually. Let me know again if you find the ones with the coins. Worried if they were in the way of the attack. Be home eventually, Thag."
The Rift
Oh,
Mole who has
Avengers in
been
there.
the Rift Mole who's kind of been sitting, leaning against the crate that you put down, kind of flicking his legs for a little bit, hold out a hand.
Be sure to deliver that, but take your time.
Takes a bit of puts the note away in a small pouch as you say, like, please you deliver that. As you say, take your time. Slowly cranes his head back to you, sticks his hand back out.
And he'll kind of rummage between his quills and find a small morsel of food. Is this enough?
Pulls it out, kind of takes it down, quickly munches their way through it.
Alright.
I love them.
This sassy little void.
I hope to hear from you soon, I guess.
Hops up and salutes, and in mid salute, a little purplish portal opens up around their feet, and they just down into it.
And Thag's just kind of left standing there looking at this crate. This was supposed to go somewhere. Where? Somebody was supposed to tell me where this goes.
And you're looking around, and it's actually about that moment that you start noticing, almost coincidentally, all your friends are around. Well, Adla was already not too far from you. Behind you, Coriander is now stepping out of the medical tent, and Katya appears to be being cuddled by two of her friends, with Coral being sat not too far away. At this point, Coral, you can say you've been patched up by Aunt Saberica and have run off to go keep up with Katya.
Anybody know where this crate goes?
What's in it?
Thag will kind of like peek in one of the corners. Looks like grain.
Corey will just point to like a tent down the way. It's like they're putting food there.
I'll be right back. And Thag will kind of waddle off carrying this crate.
As Thag waddles, the rest of you are also noticing that suddenly you are surrounded by the rest of your group.
I assume Thag doesn't hide the void mole as like a thing, or his family doesn't really hide them as a thing.
No.
Excuse you, Rift Mole.
Rift mole, excuse me. Rift mole. This Rift mole. So I feel like Corey sees the signs of that. Is like, you got a letter. So, the rest of the group. So what do you think we should do? Where are we going? I have thoughts, but I do think we make a very effective team. Perhaps we can combine some of the goals we have if we possibly can. Internally, Corey is thinking, these guys make a great distraction for anything I'm doing. If I can get them to the city where I have to go steal from the magical wizards of fuck all, that's going to be great.
Would you like to keep traveling with me, cannon fodder? I mean, friends?
No, it's more like why Robin wears a bright costume than cannon fodder. It's a distraction. Yeah, that is his question. What are we thinking?
I don't know if I'm looking to go anywhere specific, but I want to get to the bottom of where that thing's going. And why.
Going or why it's going?
Both.
That is a good question. That's my job, to ask questions and maybe find answers.
I imagine Coral has maps, but I know that Corey's copied quite a bit. He might just open to his notebook to where the East Ley Shrine should be. Just tap on it.
We don't know enough, and also Alyaweya was heading west, not east.
It's actually Ro who pipes up now. My mom says she thinks she's headed towards Forwin. Or more accurately, that Forwin might be in the way of her.
As a question, Chiam, how likely is it that we could catch up and then pass Alyaweya? Like, what's the speed that this...
On foot?
Yeah.
You can't. Especially because doesn't seem like she needs to stop to rest at all. Like, on foot, it's not feasible, unfortunately. If you had, like, mounts, some kind of transport, if you were all rift moles, like they're, but...
How do we become
How do
rift
you rift
moles?
moles?
Rift Mall supremacy
If
wins
we
again.
strap enough rift moles to our bodies and dive into the ground.
I was thinking
I
of
like
little
this
rift moles
plan.
that are all
This is a
dressed
good-
like us.
Send emissaries.
What an
No,
oh, it's fine.
more for those of you who are a bit more traveled, so people, I'd say like your Corals, your Adlos, and I even say Katya as someone who, you've grown up in Narth, the travel to Forwin pretty easily. You know two things. One, there's no way you're catching her before she hits Forwin. It's just not happening. I'm sorry. The second, maybe slightly more fortunate thing is that she popped out of the ground right outside of Narth. There was nothing you all could do to prepare, plan, evacuate, nothing. She is a creature far too big for the tree canopy, and there is a lot of open plain between Narth and Forwin. They will see her coming, and likely far before she hits it.
So I think Corey's response would have just been, "Can we catch her?" Because he doesn't know. To the group, so.
Yeah.
I currently don't have any ideas on how to do that.
Then perhaps we find out.
If we had a
why.
cart, I think we might be able to. We could. I wouldn't suggest it.
Corey will look around. It's just, I don't know that anyone here can spare one.
And I think it's going to be Lily who pipes up this time, and even if you all could catch her, could you stop her?
I will kind of walk into this conversation and go, who are we stopping?
Big
Or
bug.
not stopping Alyaweya.
Oh, fat chance in hell.
I love it so much.
Canonizing hell in this setting.
Yeah.
Did you see the size of that thing?
Well, I think the question we should be asking is not how can we catch up with Alyaweya. The question is, why is she heading that way? And can we warn anyone in the way?
Oh, I sent a message through the family. Forwin should know already.
She's also really big, Ro says again. I think they'll see her coming.
Oh, right, that place is all plains, right?
Most of it, at least. There's a lot of it between here and there. My family says that they're going to pack up what they can on any wagons they have available and try to move for Salzmit. It's not on her path, and, well, it's the next best place we could get to. From what I understand, lots of other people are doing the same. Some are already worried they won't have enough space. Which I guess would make Dysvale the best possibility. Maybe Fenport. Some might even go as far as Grum or Ishamir. Drensum.
Before we talk about going south, do any of us want to look at where Alyaweya came from?
That's a fair point.
That seems like I mean, must have come from somewhere. We didn't see her when we went to the Hollow.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
Plus,
You all-
I would have hoped they would have left by now, but maybe Tala and Silva are still around. Would want to see what happened to them.
Corey does not agree with that. That says nothing.
No, I think that's a good idea.
But from there, perhaps the way shrunk farther. And sorry, Foxy, which of the friends said about maybe making it to Grum?
Well, it was Ro who was talking about her family traveling towards Salzmit, and
Yeah.
then she was saying that like other families might
Maybe,
just be
yeah.
moving further. But the long and short of it is, it sounds like
Yes.
most of the people in Narth are going to begin a grand migration south.
Sure.
Destinations might diverge, but it seems like there's going to be a big gathering of people just
Yeah.
traveling south towards Salzmit.
I think Corey would still sort of signal that out and just anyone who makes it to Grum, tell them to find the Clement Inn. You'll find a place to stay there, at least for a bit.
Ro slowly nods. That's very kind. Thank you.
My mother always is.
They hug into Katya more. Katya, from where you're hugging them, you can see that their face is bright pink.
Corey is going to be oblivious to that because I think it's very
Uh-huh.
funny.
Oh no, Katya keeps that to herself. She says nothing. There
Look,
might
I
be
just rolled
like
an
a
8 on insight,
shared
but
look
fair.
between like Ro and Katya, but like
Mhm.
that's gonna be it.
Lily's cackling, but no one knows why.
A gentle chuckle.
Nice.
Uh,
Now go for it.
Does anyone in the town need any additional assistance? We'll be heading north, but it sounds like I can still help, perhaps.
Adlo, you, I think, got the best sort of lay of the town itself as you and Thag were moving around to get a sense of things. And so I think you can pretty comfortably say that, like, anyone that could be rescued from the rubble is probably either already rescued or will be soon. Like, you guys did a pretty thorough sweep of everything that was in the path. Anyone that's, like, in need of, like, medical care or things like that is probably already out here being tended to, being cared for as best they can. So as far as like, as far as like more you can do to help more people, what you've already been doing for the most part is going to be your best bet there. Outside of that, seems like as chaotic and hectic as things still are, they are under control, to put it very loosely.
No longer
Free to book
falling
as you
apart.
need to.
Small. I am wondering why we aren't rebuilding here, but I suppose the damage is a little too much.
I would suppose they'd perhaps rebuild in a spot or another place once they're more established somewhere else, as towns tend to be.
Adlo, give me an insight check real quick.
A
Oh,
CX.
that's not good.
Nope.
Honestly, I think. Yeah, I think on a 6, I'm gonna say that Adlo. It's also striking you as a bit strange that like the talk you're hearing is a lot about like fleeing or where to get to, and not so much about thinking about recovery or rebuilding. And I think that's maybe giving you some like, well, I guess why, but I think honestly, yeah, no, I don't even know why I really made you roll for this. I think even on a 6, you're probably pretty aware that there's a simple reason why people would be thinking about leaving as opposed to rebuilding. They don't know if she'll come back. They don't know what's happening. People are panicking.
If a raging sentinel rampaged through your home, would you ever feel safe there again after witnessing that kind of destruction? If you're not an elite member of the Order of the Moon, just a regular person trying to live their life, do you think you could handle the possibility of something like that returning?
You would be surprised how tough some people can be.
Was there a redeem?
Ear up, you bastards.
I don't have anything on hand. I'm sorry.
Neither do I.
All right, you guys just both stand there and camel dance for a while.
You owe us.
2/3 of us with ears.
Perfect. That's-
Close
Skip the
enough.
Oh, Macarena. There you
Gecko.
go.
All the strength in the world may not be able to stand up to that. And besides, whatever strength they may have, it may not just be them they have to worry about.
So, I suppose first order of business is to check out where Alyaweya came from. She did leave a very obvious trail. I'm looking at I'm assuming a swath of down trees.
Turned earth, all that. Perhaps first we talk to the speaker, just to see if there isn't anything else we can do to help before people are sent off.
Yes, we should probably say something before we go.
Katya, does your family have any plans?
I don't know, GM. Do they?
I'll say that you probably would have heard this in your time hanging out with them for a while. They're also in joining amongst the crew people who are leaving. They of course have
Okay.
plans to come back because well, this is their home. Obviously, this is where they've made them their family for generations. But I think again, kind of keeping with the general trend, general thoughts are like being in or around Narth maybe isn't the best plan right now. It's a bit sobering to think about, but it seems like one of the great towns in the Endless Wood is about to be abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
Building that kind of thing takes a lot of logistics and resources. This is Tate speaking of like, it's not something you just sit around and camp and figure out. Like that's gonna take.
No,
more than-
not at all. Yeah, no. Kate would communicate that. Like they'll be okay. we'll have each other and everyone else that's going to be going that way too.
We would understand if you wanted to go with them.
I'm not gonna lie, I mean, part of me does, but the other part of me wants to figure out if we can actually return in the long run. Is this place ruined forever? I can't just leave things like that unanswered.
That is very wise.
I think, Katya, there's also this. It's not a communicative feeling, just explicitly, but I think there is this slight tingling at the back of your spine, as if like, and it started maybe the moment that Corey said like, we would understand if you wanted to stay with them, as if something in the back of your head was saying like, again, not forcefully, not like you need to do this, but sort of nudging you as if going to follow this trail, going with these people, finding out what's happening is the thing it wants you to do.
Yeah, and I think she kind of agrees. I think she agrees to follow that as well. This is, again, like, is Narth, is this site that once was Narth like ruined forever? Are we just not gonna come back? Like, she needs to know, especially if like the rest of her family was like, oh yeah, we'll definitely come back here. Like that big concern is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure there's not going to be like an infinite spawn of the swarm or something.
Exactly.
From the
It's
hole
like,
that she crawled out
considering
of.
like she also like personally saw like what those swarms can do, which is like, no.
Yeah, no, that's an 100% fair assessment of things, and I don't blame Katya for that assessment at all. It sounds like, friends, you're off to find the speaker if you can for a conversation, and then we're going to go traipse after where God might have popped out from, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
a god adjacent.
Find their little hidey hole.
God-esque.
Hidey hole.
God disambiguous.
Yeah.
God adjacent.
God pejorative.
It's listen, this is a Foxy campaign. That's always true. Any case, so you managed to, obviously, friends, finding the speaker isn't hard. He, despite the few hours, maybe even like the rest of the day you've been spending helping people, checking in on things, doing what you can, he hasn't moved. He's been on that rock, giving orders, counting people, doing what he can for the entire time. Shirmatol has not moved. And as you are slowly approaching, it is very evident what that's doing to him. There are heavy bags under his eyes, his stance looks tired, and his face looks gaunt. He has been through the ringer. I'd say pretty fairly, obviously. Nonetheless, as you see him atop that rock, talking to an older woman, who he then leans over and grabs a sort of a small handful of like collection of fruit and some grains in a basket, hands it over to her, and then like kind of pushes it down towards her and two younger Mapash that are also with her. They all briefly offer their thanks, and the woman embraces him and begins kind of like kiss along his cheek for several long moments. And he just, of course, it's fine. And then just, someone else needs help, please. And I think at that point he sees the five of you and just, could someone take over for just a moment? I'll be right back. And he'll slide down off of that rock. People are still kind of coming up to him and offering him just, I'll be just a moment, please. There's assistance over there, and the medical tent can be found there, and he slowly kind of, I'd say saunters, but there's far too much exhaustion in his stance for it to be that.
Plods, maybe.
Yeah.
Plod.
Yeah, plodding is definitely the right word to use here. Thank you for that. Both of you for that. He just kind of plods his way over to you all very slowly and just, quite the day it's been, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Corey's not taking the lead, someone else will.
What are we asking him?
If he needs any more help, and let him know what we're doing.
I'm not leading. This is like, I don't know. It wasn't my idea to talk.
You
to
made a
them.
charisma
That's so
character.
funny.
It's you or Dan.
All right. Well, Thag's looking around, sees nobody speaking up, and goes, "It certainly has been a tough day for everyone."
Are you all well? Uninjured?
More or less.
I have a concussion.
That.
So I can
Otherwise,
see.
it's fine.
Well, I'd say bless the Sentinels for that, but you'll forgive me if that feels unkind in the current moment.
I don't
What
think
has
anyone's
happened
gonna
here?
argue.
Is there anything pressing that needs to be taken care of that we could help with? Otherwise, we were thinking of going to see where Alyaweya came from, if there's any still remnant danger, or if we can find any answers as to why this happened.
That's a helpful enough task, if any. The mercenaries I hired will be returning very shortly. I dispatched them out on scouting for anyone lost in the wood or still trapped fleeing the town. I trust they'll be able to assist with any remnant security concerns around here. I will not remind you all of what may be the obvious danger of returning to wherever that thing came from. But I will not stop you. You have done me more than enough good for me to allow you this.
Do you have any information on that will kind of turn to the one of you mentioned Ley Shrine, right?
The east one, that's
Supposedly.
far away from here, and also in a different direction.
It's connected to the Sentinels in some capacity, though, right?
There are some who believe that, yes.
That's a question that we don't know the answer to.
One of many we have now.
Do you ever have any visitors or anybody that is on their way to the Ley Shrine for any reason?
A contingent of the Grove Keepers who occasionally visit our town and proselytize their word, often travel from the shrine and thus back here to wherever else they go. They are simple folk who monitor the wood and oversee the peace. We have never known any trouble from them or reported any mishap or misdoing around the shrines. Save for
And then-
them, pilgrims, explorers, the curious.
Nobody of note has come through recently or anything?
The last journey made to the shrine by any notable party was by my son. Not too long before the bandit detective took his life. Plenty wanted to see it before he died. I am glad he didn't have to see this.
There will be children born who will not know this. We'll be sure of it.
For the sake of whatever future there is to be, let us hope that is never so. I must know what has happened to my home, to my people. I must know what is happening to the Sentinel, if it is happening to the others. The whole of the Endless Wood could be under mortal threat, and we have no idea why. I cannot tell you where to go, cannot tell you what you will find, or how to find it. But right now, putting my faith in you five seems like it would be the least foolish choice I've made in several days.
Gia, may I ask, did Thagrius and I go through Salsmith to get here, since we both kind of traveled from Grum?
I'd say yes.
Okay. Then I would
If you
assume
wanna take
Corey
it first.
knows of like
Yeah.
an inn, or like a place that he could say, hey, if you find yourself in Salsmith, and I guess I'll do this character. If you find yourself in Salsmith, there's the Molish Hole. There's a inn. Look, I'm just coming up with a thing.
That was good. That was good. That was good. That was good. That was
Good
good.
name. It's a good name. Great name.
That's a good name.
That you can. We'll send a message to if you can tell them where you go. If you go farther. Apologies, Thag. What was the place we stayed in Drysville? Oh wait, no, you weren't there in Drysville. I was. Excuse me.
No, I have not been to Dicevale.
Drysville.
And if you do go to the Molish Hole, tell them Corey sent you. Do not tell them that Thag sent you.
Yes, that's very smart. Actually, that was not a good time for him. If you make it to Grum, you can stay at the Diplomat Inn. We'll send news there if we must.
I will not be going farther than Salsmith personally. I will travel with my people to ensure they arrive there safely as possible. From there, I will negotiate with the local leaders and pray that we can negotiate some sort of integration. Salsmith is suffering a drought around this period. The harvests have been thin. They will suffer amongst their own people. Adding ours among them will only make this worse.
I believe in
Nonetheless,
the goodness of your people. Will help them.
you are kind for thinking that. What has happened here will echo across the wood. There will not be a town untouched by this thing. I will promise you that. Wherever you go from here, whatever you do from here, all of you do it safely, please.
We'll be sure to send word to Salsmith if we ever think that Narth is safe to be rebuilt. I'm sure you and plenty of other people from the town will want to see the town rebuilt eventually in some capacity.
A lofty goal, and one I will aspire to. I feel that hope will be a thing we all need right now. Hope. And he leans down and picks at the grass, and there is a single blossomed fire flower and community. If there is nothing more, I should go and tend to my people.
You should also take a nap when you can.
I will see about rest when I am sure that everyone I can is safe. But I thank you for the consideration.
May the burden of leadership lay a little lighter.
Kind words, certainly. Keep the wind at your back, all of you. And he turns and begins to kind of walk back towards the rock. Now, if anyone has any urgent wounded still, please place them here. If you require food or any other sustenance, Sandy over here. If you have questions, we all do.
Thag's gonna turn to the rest of the group and he's gonna pull out like a regular hammer, not, you know, the Thagomizer, and he's just holding it by the strap and spinning it by his side and goes, "Alrighty. Shall we go?"
Yeah.
Wild
Yes,
unknown.
so.
Well, friends. Thankfully, as Coral described very aptly, it is not a very hard thing to do to track the trail Alyaweya carved, not just through Narth, but through the woods just behind it. Following it feels oddly reminiscent, not just of all the fond memories you've had of this wondrous, beautiful piece of civilization, all the people you met at the festival you danced and drank and told tales with, but even the journey you spent together with these people. traveling these same roads, learning each other, moving together. The old hollow you move towards is just in the distance. The sun sweeping just behind it as day slowly turns to night. It is a massive tree that appears to have been at least slumped somewhat in what happened. But it is nothing in comparison to what you can already see in the ground. A massive, massive carved open canyon. As if something godlike simply reached his hand up out of the ground. It's not impossible to know what you're looking at. This impossible trail of destruction and chaos leads to just beside the old hollow, a nearly kilometer-wide crater where a sentinel once slept. Is there anything you're looking for here specifically, friends? Is there anything you're hoping to find or questions you'd like answered?
So have we seen any traces of the I forget what they were called. The
Children of the Myriad?
yes.
Funnily enough, you've encountered maybe 2 of them. And I don't even mean the swarms. I mean literally 2 of them in your entire time here. It seems they follow after their mother. And while there will maybe always be a few of them in her wake, it seems the further away she is, the less of them you're going to encounter.
I do think Corey is trying to effectively, like, gauge in his head the size of Alyaweya, the size of this pit, and see if there's something that's not Alyaweya or the swarms. It's a long shot, he understands, of something else that might have caused it that's here, since we just simply don't know what possibly could have.
Exactly. We're looking for a pee under
How's
the
that way to wake up?
mattress.
It's so funny that you 2 spoke up about this. I'm going to let you both pick what skill you roll here.
Oh.
Your options are, for Coriander, you can use Investigation, you can use Perception, you can use Survival, or that's it. For Katya, you can use Investigation, you can use Perception, you can use Nature or Survival, or you can just roll a flat D10.
You know, it's kind of sad. I think the D10 is gonna be the most effective thing because I'm not very
If you'd like a moment
smart
to-
or
I know.
wise.
If you
I just made a
want
very
a
cute
moment to
character.
choose.
Yeah, no, Corey, you roll first, please, actually.
Yeah, I got a 15 in survival, unless I can have
Perfect.
advantage on that for whatever reason, but that's fine.
Oh, no. A 15 is absolutely what you wanted here anyway. It's totally fine.
In my head, he has mapped this area already in his head, even if he didn't draw it specifically in as much detail, just because he's very
Heck.
good at like the shape of things.
If you haven't made that D10 roll, heck, don't make it yet. Hold
Oh,
on to
okay,
it for
yeah,
just a moment for me,
haven't
because I want to
checked it. I
know
wasn't gonna click it yet.
what's everybody else doing, real quick, because we're gonna come back to that just a little bit. Anybody else doing anything urgently important? Looking for anything else? Checking for anybody else? What's going on here?
How deep is this hole? Is this crater?
At least as deep as Alyaweya is tall, which is to say very. So
Much.
4 or 5 stories, maybe. It's a canyon, gang. It's not like a hole you're gonna like drop into and like pop back out of. This is a new biome, okay? Like this is like, you hit a certain level in the RPG, you get a map change with a new zone unlocked, but there's new mobs down there and shit.
Yep.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
Minus the
Like,
mobs.
Titanic sank and it made a whole new area down there. That's what happened.
Exactly. This is World of Warcraft Cataclysm, guys.
I'd like to ask. So, it's been a full day, so I think Coral's maybe not quite over the concussion, but is doing better.
You're hanging in. You're doing
Corey
all
has
right.
handed her some like caffeine equivalent herbs to chew on that he has found, or something we can say.
I like it. I like it. We're doing that. And I think Coral's doing 2 things at once. It's sort of like half-mindedly messing with her magnifying glass to try and see if she can't like make like a makeshift telescope. But what she's actually focusing on, which is probably why the telescope is not working, actually. So Coral felt the ley line in the shrine back then, right?
You sure
Could
did.
she sort of try and, I don't know, like feel for like that sort of arcane field in that giant massive fucking crater?
Alright, give me an Arcana.
How's a 23?
I love a 23. Adlo, Thag, what are you two doing?
Standing guard, probably.
With
Standing
Adlo
guard.
standing guard, Thag is probably like digging his way along the edge to like dig a way down.
Fair enough. what's your dig speed again? Burrow speed? Is it like 20 feet, 30 feet? Is it just your movement speed?
20, I
It's
I don't think it's 20
slower.
yet.
Let me find it.
It's probably 20
15
feet. I'm
feet.
just asking.
It's 15.
Okay, 15 feet. I just wanted to thought of how fast you might be doing this. But okay,
Yeah.
cool. You're going like roughly a story every round, give or take, if you're going straight down. But assuming you're on an angle, it's probably more. Okay, I got. Okay. All right. So you're making your way down, Thag. You're digging your way down,
Yep.
and you honestly managed to make a pretty solid like trench on the way towards the bottom of this. Which honestly, funnily enough, as Coral, you're kind of like following the perception of like the Arcana around here, and as Corey, you're kind of looking around and like kind of getting a sense of like, you know, what's happening in this place, looking for anything that might have caused it. And Katya, we'll come right back to you. It's funny that the camera's following Coral's like telescope, and though it's the way Thag is digging, the way Corey is traveling, the way Katya is kind of following, it's all going the same direction. You're all going down towards like the bottom of this area, and not like literally to like the little like bottom of it, unless you want to go all that far. Adlo is definitely the trench that that Thag is digging is one that you could easily climb down if you'd like to, without any like need to like literally climb it or make an athletics check if you want, or you could just climb it if you want to. It's up to you. Or you can stand guard if you wanted to stand guard.
I think I would like to see like what's at the bottom of this new canyon. So if
All right.
that's where Thag is going, then I'll follow him.
All right, absolutely. As you're all making your way down, it's yeah. So here's what you notice. As you're looking for everything, the first thing I'll say is that Corey, you're looking for like what else is in this place besides what, you know, Alyaweya and her children. And it seems mostly like it's just a giant dug out, you know, canyon, rock and dirt and moss and all kinds of other, you know, plant matter. But as you're getting closer to the bottom, you start seeing other flora that doesn't really seem like it fits just right. In fact, you would, you know, it kind of seems like you're not really getting the best sense of it just yet, but it looks like it's a little, you know, you're moving around and you're starting to say like, oh yeah, the humidity around here is different. The biome looks a little different. It's starting to look a little funky
the bottom
around
of this
here.
hole feels like there shouldn't be a lot of plants down there.
Yeah, and it's not like there's that many. In fact, no, I think that might even be the thing that you're noticing more than anything else is that along parts of this, like running along what look like long, hard lines of some stone, there's moss. Some things that have been in this crater have probably been buried down here for...
Like there was a cave or something.
Yeah, like something like... I mean, which kind of makes sense, because Alyaweya, you know, would have had to burrow down here to lay down, so she burrowed down here a very long time ago, and whatever was under her was here even longer. No question. Just these old rocks and stone lines and carving moss and something else. Something that, Coral, you're searching the arcane for this, and it's almost, you're following the way energy is building. It's not the ley energy. You can see the ley energy is ambient everywhere. Alyaweya slept here for a long fucking time, so her energy is just ambient in this place. You can almost taste it. But there's something else. Something wrong. And Thag, as you're burrowing down, Adlo, as you're following, you start noticing something is a little bit weird too. Katya, go ahead and roll a d10 for me real quick.
Okay.
A D10.
8.
8 good.
8 is perfect. It almost looks kind of like fungus. And there's curtains of it. Painted and drooping and lilting all over long lines of old burnished stone. Almost ivory-like. And it's clearly... There's a lot of it here, but it's not... All of it isn't nestled into the earth or grown up. Plenty of it is, but you can see patches of it torn and thrown in awkward patterns and gathered in large clumps, and it looks like... Well... Yeah, it looks like something grew all over here while Alyaweya slept. And she tore herself free of it when she awoke. Something that feels wrong and sickly, and Coral almost feels like it pulls dread into you. And to you, Katya, it almost feels a little bit familiar.
I'll get closer to it.
As you get closer to it, reach out a hand, a bit of it reaches out towards you.
I think she'll say this in her brain more so than out loud. But, friends?
It leaps onto your hand, seeps into your skin. Friends. Gain a level 1 spell slot.
Oh, fuck. How do I do that?
I don't know. Mark it down for your notes for later. You just have an extra level 1 spell slot.
Oh, shit.
Oh, and I should clarify. Permanently.
Oh.
Oh. Yes, I know. I just gave a warlock an extra spell slot. Never say your GM's
They're the
never
ones
been
who
nice
need
to
it the
you.
most.
Jeez.
No, give it to Rogue. I'm just kidding.
Well, you should have touched the weird fungus then if you wanted.
No,
Yeah.
Or he
no,
would
you
never
should
do
not
it.
have.
Actually, I had a question of how obvious is it that this has
Oh,
happened?
that's so funny.
Just solid life advice.
Uh,
that.
Give me a perception roll.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like, who notices this?
Everybody who wants to have noticed. I think the only person who noticed without rolling is Coral, because Coral, you were looking at magic. So I think this was very, very obvious to you.
All right.
I'll
So
go 16.
perception. Ooh, that's a 9.
Adlo, you rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling. Just give me a sec.
Take your time. I'll just ask him to make sure.
Screen Navigation.
Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think I have a
goody.
feature for advantage
Oof.
here. So
Nope.
7.
So unfortunately, Coral and Corey both see this happen.
Corey will remember this.
Immediately, like,
Okay.
power walks over to Katya. Are you? Oh, like starts patting your fur. Still smooth. Honey, you're still okay, right? Didn't hurt you?
No, it's weird that they're also here because this isn't where I first found them, but they look a lot like my friends. You know, the ones I was talking about.
The not folk ones, right?
Yeah. No, not the hometown friends. Other friends.
Was making sure you weren't hallucinating.
No.
So these
I
are
mean,
your
you
friends.
saw it too, right?
I saw the fungus absorb into your arm, which could result in intense hallucinations or possibly death, depending on. I don't know what kind of fungus that is. I'm just.
I mean, they haven't done anything in the past, so it's probably fine.
Would they be offended if I took a sample to test?
Friends, what do you think?
There is a roiling sensation of revulsion that moves through your body.
Yeah, they don't want that. Sorry.
I would prefer not to upset the magic fungus. And then doesn't pick any up. He's not. I think that Corey has a healthy respect for how terrifying fungus is generally as a concept in terms of like herbalism. He's not fucking with that.
Katya, I said these things felt familiar to you, and they do. But they don't look familiar to you now that you're really getting a good look at them. Not as much as they should. They definitely look similar to the fungus that you've encountered, that sort of shimmering off purple fungus, but out here it's darker, more matted and dull and grayed, like it's been rotting against something. But yet it feels more present than where you encountered it. Like it's, this is going to be the wrong word here, but more alive out here than it was where you found it. And now that you've had that little bit sap itself into you, it doesn't feel as familiar anymore. It almost feels like whatever part of this was specifically that entity that you've been talking to, that part of it sapped itself into you with that absorption. And while there's still a familiar feeling of this being the same maybe kind of fungus, it doesn't feel like it's your friends specifically anymore.
I see.
You've extracted all the friends.
Yeah, I started with all the friends. The rest they don't know me. I don't know them.
Corey's still not fucking with that.
I have a question. When Katya like absorbed the friends, did the sickly feeling follow, or did it remain with the bundle of fungus?
Oh, it's still all over there. It's still all over it. This place feels rank.
But like Katya still, it feels okay.
Yeah, Katya feels fine.
And the friend that absorbed into Katya is feeling fine.
I mean, you just feel Katya when you like with your perceptions up. So, yeah. Hey, heck, welcome to your character arc, by the way.
Yeah.
Does your friend know why that feels wrong?
He's gonna keel over and die.
I don't really know either. I mean, now that I've taken in more of like my friends, at least like the familiar stuff, the rest they feel like strangers. I don't quite understand or like know how to articulate that differently.
Real recognize real,
now.
and these mushrooms ain't familiar.
You're looking real unfamiliar right now. Corey takes a step back from the unfamiliar fungus that seems more sickly according to the magic people in the party.
Well, if your friends don't know and they're and that feels definitely wrong. I have a hypothesis
Uh-oh.
that perhaps
That's a big word.
Corey's heard that word.
4 syllables.
I have a hypothesis, and we will just simply have to attempt to prove or disprove it. And Coral's gonna poke at it with poke at it with a little bit of her I guess spell energy, whatever that nebulous feeling is.
Sure, no problem.
Imbue a stick with light and poke at it. I imagine Corey and Adlo immediately like
Look,
So yeah, you both kind of like freak out a bit as like Coral kind of like like reaches out a little bit with their magical perceptions, and it doesn't seem to react to you at all. But if you could please make for me a perception check, darling, I'd love that.
okay.
Also, passive perception, friends. I was just curious about that. I forgot.
10.
My
17.
perception's terrible, but that's a 4.
Okay. Ooh. Ouch.
Corey's
Yeah.
reflecting there passively all the time. That's 17.
Okay.
Passive perception is
Oh,
12.
passive perception of 12 for me as well.
12. Cool. 12, 17, some other number.
12.
No one
What's
fucking
Katya's?
expecting the wisdom.
Something tells me
Katya's is
10.
10. Yeah. Leave me alone. I'm not scared.
All right, so
you're very charismatic.
Yeah, exactly. She's
So,
cute. Okay, that's all she needs.
it's true. She's very cute.
She's cute and
She's-
persuasive. It's how she gets away with her
True.
bullshit.
So, you know what? I'm gonna say this is actually. I'm gonna say because you guys have a collective brain cell when you're all together. I'm gonna say that as a group you notice this because I need to have this. You have to notice this for the plot. So I'm gonna kind of give it to you. I
Corey
was
was
gonna give
pointing
it anyway, but I guess it's a matter of like how I was gonna give it to you. But I think Coral, as you poke this, while you're not immediately like, you have no idea what this thing is. You poke it with your magic, nothing happens. It doesn't make any sense. It's not a species you've ever seen before. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Actually, you have seen this once before. Only once. In a really old, dusty tomb you dug out once, not too far outside of Forgetown, early in your career delving through stuff. And then it was just like, oh, weird, bad feeling fungus. Probably avoid then. You're pretty sure this is the same stuff? But what's more interesting, and I think this is what the group notices, is the way it's growing. It's not growing on all of the stone around here evenly. In fact, a lot like the moss was kind of running earlier, there's these dull, ivory, almost dark sandstone toned lines of stone carved into or not carved in, but set into this canyon along the bottom of it and along the sides. And it seems like most of this ick is gathered along those, or closer to them at least.
Corey's pretty good at understanding the shape of things. If he drew this out as if looking from above, does it make a clear shape?
No, not the parts you can see from here.
Okay, fair.
It does appear to,
Have a pattern.
it looks
right?
like yeah. No, I wouldn't. A pattern is the wrong word I'm looking for.
Okay.
It looks like these should. It looks like these should form some kind of shape you can't really tell, but you're not seeing enough of it to know the shape. It's pieces of the shape. It's weird lines and awkwardly formed curves that don't seem to make a full shape. But you wager that maybe there's just more of this stone buried elsewhere that's not shown.
Corey will put down the shape that he can see to see if it maybe matches up with a symbol later on of some kind.
Hmm. Anybody else do anything with the weird stone?
That shit's weird. Moving on.
Shit's weird. That means trying weird shit. I'm gonna pick up a piece and throw it in the throw it in the fungus and see what happens.
Oh, I like that. That's okay. So you pick up a bit of a piece of this stone. You kind of like to shear off a little chunk of it with a claw. It's incredibly hard to do so. You have to really work at it. You almost break a claw in the process. It's very dense stone, but you do get off the tiniest little flint of some, and you toss it into the fungus for a little bit, and nothing happens immediately, but it does seem like very, very slowly the fungus kind of grows around it. Takes it in. If you want, you could fleck off another piece to analyze it later and maybe figure out what kind of stone this is.
I'm doing that. I'm also going to grab a random rock that's not the stone and throw it in and see what happens. We need a control test.
Always need a control group.
Nothing happens with secondary rock. And after enough, I think this time you finally actually decide to go in with like a knife or a chisel maybe, and actually like, and again, even with your chisel, it takes a good deal of effort to really get off a piece of this stone. It does not move very easily. And it doesn't even break a lot like stone you've operated around before. It's weird. And you've dealt with the archaeological, like the geological composition of the endless wood enough to know like most of the types of stone that are around here. It's weird. In fact, you think the only time you've ever seen stone that might have even kind of looked like this would have been the other time you saw that fungus.
If you don't mind me interjecting here for a moment, if you look over, you're hearing like a rhythmic banging sound. Thag's got his pack on the ground, and he's got his mason tools out. He's got a chisel and a hammer, and he's chiseling away at a chunk.
Thag, I need you to make me either investigation, perception, or...
You have the stone 2 toolkit? Would that work?
I can make you one.
I've got a
No,
mason's kit.
this is...
I've got mason's tools.
Oh, okay.
But this is just something's gonna happen.
Yeah, this is less about like because Thag, you're gonna break off a piece, no question. This isn't about whether or not you break off a piece. This is a question of like, how well do you know cutting stone that you might notice something about this stone? So I'm gonna say,
Generally,
yeah,
I'll the knowledge of.
yeah, okay, so I'll allow Mason's tools. I'll allow you to roll with your proficiency in Mason's tools to see what you
Okay.
got here. I'll also allow you to roll with like if you want to try insider perception or anything like that. I want you to know flat out the DC of this is not going to be a very small one.
All right, I mean, I'll just give you perception. How's a 20?
Here to 20.
It's not stone.
Oh,
In fact, you're pretty sure it's bone.
is this something that I realize as I'm hammering away?
It is it's the way it breaks. Like you're hammering at the stone trying to like make a good chiseled piece. When you hit a certain angle of it and it should just kind of like flake, the way it splinters and cracks a bit, that's not stone. Stone doesn't break that way. Bone does.
Thag will pick up the piece, turn to the group, and go, "This is bone, guys."
What?
Another hypothesis. Does
No.
anybody have?
Not a hypothesis. I've never seen stone break this way. This is definitely bone.
No. She has a new one because it's bone.
And tell me, do I? Because I hit like several times by. Well, I literally got crushed by Alyaweya. Do I happen to have any chunks left over that I can compare
Like
to
Of the Guardian.
of Alyaweya?
You might not have a chunk of her, I'm gonna say no, but I think you got close enough to see what her exoskeleton structure looked like enough and generally assume how she's built. This ain't her. This ain't her at all.
I have a
it's
different
not her.
question, but I don't know that Corey would know to ask. But is this like fossilized bone? How fresh is this bone?
Old as fuck, gang. Like that's probably the general assumption. Corey, I don't think you know this well enough, and I don't think, but like general assumption.
He's familiar with fresh bone, and he's like, "That's not fresh bone. That's like something old and weird."
This the way this is like it looks so much like stone because it is such old bone. That's just the simple reality of it. And in fact, Thag, as you're like, no hypothesis, 100% that's bone. I assume you were all so lost in this that, well, actually, this is why you rolled so high on the stealth check. A voice behind you goes, "What's bone?" And not an unfamiliar one.
Thag will jump higher than you've ever seen him jump before and go, ah!
Corey could have
spin
shot a
around.
punch arrow under Thag into this person if he had so chosen from that jump.
Thag, you spin around, and standing haggardly behind you is a silver-furred Vulpin who appears to have a red bandana that's been tied very tightly and very thinly wrapped around their head and covering what looks to be a very ravaged eye. Boo. I scare you.
Is that you, Sylv?
Hey. Long time no see, huh?
Yeah, what happened? Did you get
looks
caught
up.
up in all this Alyaweya business?
He looks up at the sky, sees the stars. It's late. I ain't camping too far. You should all come get some shut-eye.
Okay.
He turns and starts walking.
Can
So
I
you want to make me
do an
roll
insight
to see
check?
how- Yeah.
Go for it.
How's an 8?
This man is
Oh my
so
God.
How's it not?
Y'all.
Yo, y'all have had the most swiggy rolls in the universe tonight.
You did the same thing, Lucian. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh god.
Adlo got almost as high as us with a
Okay,
0.
okay,
Damn.
this
Yeah.
isn't gonna count, but I need to test a theory.
25. Watch.
Oh my god.
Oh no!
17.
no.
17. What's like a 17?
Yeah.
That's funny.
I'll say flat out.
It just feels like we
Nothing about his stance seems armed or seems like concerning or threatening or posturing.
I was asking do I recognize a man who is traumatized? Because I, the player, know what's happened because of things you have narrated. I just don't know
Oh,
if Cole
yeah.
knows.
In that case, then I think it's Katya who recognizes it the easiest. He does not look the same. He looks
Yeah.
haggard, tired, broken, maybe.
Yeah, the thing is, like, the thing I think that would have, like, perked her, ears is, him saying, like, I, as in singular, really, like, would have been like, wait, what do you mean?
What do you mean? Nonetheless, he is still wordlessly turning his back and walking away from you all.
Yep. I'll follow.
I'm following too.
Yay.
I'll follow him.
Corey will follow from behind, the farthest back. He has the best line of sight.
Coral
Because
sort
I-
of zones out a little in front of the. So unless Corey's going to like notify.
No, Corey's gonna hurt everyone there. It's like, we're going this way. Because I don't want to leave Coral alone picking at rocks and moss.
Yeah,
Has
for anybody
absolutely
paying attention, Thag has put that piece of bone in his pocket.
Yeah. Very
But-
sanitary for testing. Coral definitely is much better at putting things in a sample package, right? Right?
It's nicely wrapped up in a well-oiled
Yes.
cloth.
Sure, good.
Somewhere in
wanted to
another
make sure.
multiverse, somebody's baking a cake and looks up and goes, I could use a new javelin.
Stop.
But
Well.
my research. Ahem.
Any last words to each other or Sylph?
Probably not until we get the camp.
That's fair. Well.
Uh,
In that case, I'll give you a few weeks to sit on how you're going to handle that conversation. Because we're going to bring tonight's session to an end.
Ah.
I want to thank you all for coming out to a rather, let's say, a bit of a tenser episode of Steel and Arbor, but nonetheless one that I am happy to have gotten to run today. I'm going to tell my players that they are all incredible, lovely, and wonderful people, and let them pass their way around to you all one at a time so they can tell you who they are, who they played tonight, where they've been found on the internet, and what cool things they have coming up next. We'll start in the reverse order where we went previously, with Heck.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we're starting with me. Hey everybody. It's me, Sir Heckalot. You know, I'm here. I'm on your screen. And I was Katya tonight. You can find me all over the internet at Sir Heckalot, including Twitch, Itch, Blue Sky. I've been posting more on Insta lately. Most of that is just like what I've been doing at my job. Like 2 days ago, I did surgery on a toad. So like, if you want to hear about weird shit I do at work like that, go and follow me there. For things that I have going on in the TTRPG space, it has been less as of late, but on Thursdays that are not these Thursdays, you can find me over on Crits and Giggles RPG, where I am in a Tyranny of Dragons campaign. We are level 20. We are in like the final bits of everything. We are in like the last dungeon, and it's gonna end in probably us fighting Tiamat, so you won't want to miss it. It's gonna be a really fun time. And then you can find me here every other Monday, pending my work schedule being okay. We'll see. But I'm in Oathsworn, Odyssey of the Dragonlords, when I can be. And that is a fantastic time too. Also in a really important dungeon as well. I'm going up to defeat a Storm Titan. So, you know, good stuff, fun stuff. But yeah, that's me.
Thanks for playing with us tonight. And also, be careful with dungeons. That seems to be a thing with you lately, I guess.
It's fine.
And
Passing it
dragon.
on over to Tate.
Thank you, Twitch, and thank you, Internet, for watching us. My name is Tate Washburn. You can find me at Tate the Terrific on any place I care to be found. If you find me somewhere else, no, you didn't. Today I played Coriander de Clement, who is just going to try and keep these other 4 of his friends alive. That's his entire goal at this moment, and then eventually to steal some important stone for some fuck-off wizards. Anyways, you can see me next, not this Saturday, but next, running Knights of New Avalon, the Beacon Odyssey for those adventurers who love to see big damage numbers coming out of the enemy's head, where they're going to start a quest and maybe have a new player. We're going to finish before I find about that. Other than that, I think that's about everything that I am in right now, and once one of these 2 things are done, I will definitely do more stuff, so you should follow this channel's Blue Sky at Neon Lights Roleplay, where we announce cool stuff like that, or join the Discord, where we meme and we stream, and we even sometimes pick up new players for new cool things that we run on this channel. And I think that is about it.
Passing it on along to our dear friend Lucian.
Hey, that's me. I'm Lucian. I played Thagrius Shrubs, our Rune Knight fighter hedge, who didn't get to fight anything besides a lot of dirt this episode. But fighting dirt's pretty cool.
And, you know, the social situation with his parents.
Well, yeah, that's its own fight.
Fighting his responsibility in Drysvale.
Exactly. Responsibilities are for people that are responsible, which is not Thag most of the time. Yeah, I'm here on this channel once a week, either on this show or on Knights of New Avalon. You get me once a week and once a week only, so you gotta wait for one of those 2 shows to end for me to be in anything else. I say that now. Just you wait. I might be on something else. Hard to say.
You never know. It could happen.
Yeah, I'm in the Discord. I don't really do other... Well, I have an Instagram, but if you look for me, you'll find me. There are only so many Lucians in the world.
Sliding it on along, it's Dan.
It's me. Hi, I'm Lan the Dan. I played Adlo Tomoya, the Oath of the Hospitalier Paladin, Gerbine. You can find me on Blue Sky at Lan the Dan, as well as Twitter, because I still use that. And occasionally in the Discord. I am here 0.5 times a week. So the next time you'll see me will probably be the next time we do this. which will be next or 2 Thursdays from now, because we are
That's
doing
usually how
Thursdays
time
now.
works. Indeed. And last but not least, it's of course back to Michelle.
Hello, it's me, Michelle, and I don't exist on the internet, so don't go looking for me there.
That is a
Today
threat.
There's the threat.
Sure, it's not a promise. Anyways, I lost my train of thought. It's okay. Today I played Coral, our heavily concussed otter folk inventor, mad scientist, maybe. Yes, artificier. And you can find me here again in 2 weeks for our next episode of Steel and Arbor. Passing on up to Foxy.
It's me, Young Foxy, aka Big Foxy, also known as your favorite Fox Philly's finest, here to hold on with all the Neolites exclusive. I get all the best cast members here to captain this little special game right here. Don't worry about it. You can find me all over the internet at Young Foxy. It's YUNGFOXXI, occasionally with an underscore in the middle of it. The next place you'll see me is, funnily enough, right back here on the internet, because I tend to hang out a lot here on Neolites Roleplay. I run a lovely game called Jump City Sirens, an incredible little mass story of kicking ass against authority and also occasionally saving children. I also run this lovely little game that you just saw right here in front of your screens. I'll take part in a couple other games that are going on, and you might see me in some new stuff happening real soon now. Stay tuned for it. Outside of that, please come and hang out in our Discord. We get some awesome people around there who hang out and meme with us and dream with us and even end up on stream with us sometimes. So it's a really cool experience if you haven't. Otherwise, please follow our socials if you need to. Make sure you can know all the stuff we got going on there. Lock in with us, and we'll lock in with you right back, gang. In any case, I've been Young Foxy. We've been Steel and Arbor. This has been Neon Lights Roleplay, and you have all been incredible. Take the best care of yourselves. Good night, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye.